So over the years that followed, I experimented. I used my company as a laboratory, and I experimented with what alternate systems and structures could we find. And what I eventually came up with, I call a new social technology. Right? A social technology is not a piece of software or hardware. It's the way we humans show up and interact. Right? Democracy is a social technology. I was looking for a new social technology to use in a company, a new way to organize and build and grow. And we eventually called it Holacracy. I'll share a little bit about it with you today. But first, let's look at the social technology we know a little more about, a thing or two, which is the management hierarchy. Right? This is what we're used to in organizations today. We have bosses. Bosses break down the work. They hold people accountable. They actually do some things that are really important. And as we look for alternate technologies, we need to not lose the importance of breaking down the work and having accountability and alignment and all these things. Unfortunately, when we have management hierarchies, we often have perhaps some bureaucratic artifacts, some things that get in the way. We also have some interesting, messy human dynamics, like, sometimes how it really works. Right? All right, so you've seen one or two of these at play, perhaps. I think I was guilty of maybe one or two of these myself, right? So, we have messy power relationships sometimes in our organizations, and I was looking for something different, and we see something different, though, at play. We see another way of achieving order around us all the time. If we just look at how a city functions, we look outside the world around our organizations, and we look at the amazing amount of order we see at play in our lives that don't require bosses. So, I flew in here through multiple airports, got a ride, got to a hotel, checked in. I transacted with numerous other businesses along my journey, and it all just worked, right? There were taxis available to take me places, a hotel to house me. All of this order is there, and yet there's no boss directing it all. There's no one saying, okay, we need a taxi to pick up Brian at the airport right here. It doesn't have to happen that way. In fact, I don't need a boss directing my life. I'm free to pursue my own purpose in life as best I know how, right? To use my autonomy, my intelligence, to transact my life and to engage with others doing the same. And what enables that is a nice system of rules, right? I know not to go take my neighbor's car when I want to drive to the airport, right? I take my own car, right? I have some boundaries, right? There's a system, a framework of rules that allows order to show up spontaneously when it's needed. It's an emergent order that happens when we have the right set of rules. We don't need bosses directing us when we have the right set of rules.